Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Why Mega Evolve. Now, earlier last week we talked about Mega Sunflora, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Volcarona. But before we get started, let me just give you guys a brief explanation of what this series is about. Now, every week we'll be picking two Pokemon that either need a Mega Evolution, deserve a Mega Evolution, or I want a Mega Evolution for. Now, this is based off my opinion alone, and no one else's. Now, if you guys do not like my opinion, then please post your opinions in the comment section down below about what would you keep, what would you change, and etc. And at the end of every video, I will be telling you guys which Pokemon we're going to be talking about the following day. So with that said, here is Mega Volcarona. Now, Volcarona is a Pokemon where it does not need a Mega Evolution by any means. And in my opinion, besides like the legendaries and like the semi-legendaries like Zekrom, Reshiram, Cobalion, Virizion, and those types of Pokemon, Volcarona is literally like maybe a little bit less, I don't know, but like top 3 like best Pokemon from 5th gen, hands down. But does it need a Mega Evolution? No. But is that going to stop Game Freak for giving this thing a Mega Evolution? No, because we have Pokemon already right now that already have a Mega Evolution that don't even need it. And I know it may sound like a broken record, but we got Mega Garchomp, Mega Tyranitar, Mega Metagross, Mega Salamence, and so on and so forth. Like those 4 Pokemon that I just mentioned have a Mega Evolution that doesn't even need one. But like I said, it's not going to stop Game Freak for actually giving Volcarona a Mega Evolution. And I've also seen people on like Facebook groups that I am in, also on YouTube videos in general, and sometimes in the comments of people saying like their top 5 Pokemon that they would love to see have a Mega Evolution. And I've seen Volcarona actually on that list like multiple of times right now, considering that Pokemon Sun and Moon are a thing, and Volcarona is like basically a Sun Pokemon, so it's not very far-fetched that people would like to see a Mega Volcarona. But anyways, like I said, Volcarona doesn't need a Mega Evolution at all. Like to be completely honest, it can hold its own in competitive play, and like it could do work. So like I said, it doesn't need one. But since I'm going to be talking about every single Pokemon, I was going to have to make a Mega Volcarona video at some point, and well, here it is. So with all that said, as you can tell from what I've done to its stats, I did increase everything but left its physical attack alone. Now, even though Volcarona does get access to some physical attacks, I didn't really want to increase its physical attack, considering that even if I do increase it, I don't think people will actually use like a physical Volcarona, considering that with this thing getting access to Quiver Dance, that's pretty much going to be like the selling point, whether you're going to run a physical or a special. But if you want to run a mix, that's perfectly fine. But I decided not to increase its physical attack just for that very purpose, because a lot of people will most likely just use the special version of Volcarona, so that's why I left its physical attack alone. Now for its special attack, I increased it from base 135 to base 165. Now, I know people are probably going to say, oh, you shouldn't increase its special attack to like base 180 or something like that. I don't like to go that high when it comes to like Mega Evolution stats, because I like base 165. 165 is probably like I wouldn't say probably, it is a very strong, hard-hitting like special attack stat or physical attack stat, depending on which kind of Pokemon you're talking about. But for this video, base 165 I feel like is very, very good for a Pokemon like Volcarona, considering that it does get access to Quiver Dance. So you play pretty much one Quiver Dance, or maybe not even that, Volcarona will be pretty much doing like maybe 50% or more to any Pokemon that it comes across, considering that it does get access to moves that actually can cover a lot of its weaknesses. And the one weakness, like I said, is Rock. This thing does get access to Giga Drain, and also obviously Hidden Power Water or Grass, so if you want to run those types of hidden powers. But it does get access to Giga Drain, so it can take care of some of most of its weaknesses, mostly just the Rock typing. Looking at its other weaknesses, it is weak to flying and also weak to water. For its flying, obviously probably like Hidden Power Rock, and for water, like I said, it does get access to Giga Drain, so it does have coverage for its weaknesses. So I feel like base 165 will do just that, to pretty much knocking out, or at least doing at least 50% of health to your opponent's Pokemon, regardless, just because, like I said, base 165 is such an amazing stat. Now for its physical defense, I increased it from base 65 to base 85. Now, with most of the rock type moves that people go with when it comes to competitive play, like Stone Edge and Rock Slide, Volcarona's physical defensive stat is not all that great, so I wanted to increase it to base 85. I also wanted to increase it just a little bit higher, maybe to like base 100, but I felt like that would have been a little bit too OP, considering that, like I said, it does get access to Quiver Dance, and Quiver Dance does increase your special defense, so I didn't want to make this thing such an overly power defensive Pokemon, if that makes sense. I mean, I know I've seen some people actually run like a physical defensive set with like max HP. I think like 204 in defense, and then like the rest in like special defense or speed. I can't remember, but I know I've seen a physical defensive form of a Volcarona, so it's not really too far-fetched. But like I said, I didn't want to make it overly like defensive and overly too OP, if that makes sense. So I didn't really want to increase its physical defense to base 100. So that way it does have some way to actually knock it out, rather than just having a problem like I said, knocking it out. So I feel like base 85 is a very good and balanced defensive stat for a Pokemon like Volcarona. Now for its special defense stat, I increased it from base 105 to base 135. Same thing for its special attack. I felt like base 165 is such an amazing and also balanced special attack stat, or just a stat in general for a Pokemon like Volcarona. Same thing for its special defense. I didn't really want to overly increase it, just because I like it gets access to Quiver Dance, and I know I'm going to probably keep saying that in this video, but it's true. Pretty much like with the stats I've given it, getting up one Quiver Dance, this thing is probably going to be sweeping your opponent's team. So I wanted to actually increase its special defense, not all that high, but at the same time it's going to be high regardless, and I feel like base 135 is somewhat balanced, considering like it's still going to be a very special wall when it gets up like a Quiver Dance, or just a special wall in general with base 135. So once again, like, this thing will be able to eat up hits. It has some natural bulk behind it as well, but the one thing that you're probably gonna have to worry about when it comes to like Mega Volcarona is that you're probably gonna have to knock it out with like a physical move, whether if it's like Earthquake or Stone Edge or Rock Slide, whatever the case may be. I feel like that's gonna be kind of like the only way to knock it out, just because, like I said, with Quiver Dance being a thing for Volcarona, increasing its special defense, special attack, and speed, it's gonna be a very tough Pokemon to actually knock out. And I can actually see this thing going to Ubers if this thing actually gets a Mega like this. But I felt like I said, base 135 is very balanced for a Pokemon like Volcarona. And for its speed, I increased it from base 100 to base 120. Now, after looking over this, I was kind of thinking about redoing it and making putting the other 20 points from its speed into its physical attack, or just splitting it into its physical defense and also its physical attack, considering that with base 100 speed, this thing is a very speedy Pokemon as is already, and with getting one Quiver Dance up, this thing is going to be a very, very, very fast Pokemon. So I didn't want to overly increase its speed, just because, like I said, it gets access to Quiver Dance, which increases its speed, and with a Pokemon like Volcarona having base 100, it's still going to be a very, very, like I said, fast Pokemon, and with giving this thing base 120, it's going to be even a faster Pokemon. So, in sense, I know, like I said, I keep mentioning Quiver Dance, but like at the same time, how can I not mention it, just because it's a very staple move for Volcarona. So, like, if you don't want to run like Quiver Dance, you want to go like a fully like offensive Volcarona, like maybe run Roost, Fiery Dance, Hurricane, Bug Buzz, Fire Blast, so whatever the case may be, you can. I mean, it's not like you have to run that run Quiver Dance just because its stats are that high. You don't even need to. But I know people are going to go OP and actually run that move on it with the stats that I've given to a Mega Volcarona. So I could probably, like I said, see this thing like most likely instantly going to Ubers when Sun and Moon comes out, if we do get a Mega Volcarona. So there's its stats. So as a regular Volcarona, its base stats at 550, and with the Mega Evolution, it's going to be at 650. Now for its ability, this is where people are probably not going to agree with, and I probably should have given it Drought, but I decided to give this thing Desolate Land because of its Pokédex description. I'm going to be reading off its Pokemon X description. A sea of fire engulfed its the surrounding of the battles. Since they use 6 wings to scatter their ember scales. So, like, it makes sense to give this thing Desolate Lands, and I don't remember reading anywhere saying that only Primal Groudon is going to be getting access to Desolate Lands. But if there's going to be any other Pokemon that's going to be receiving this ability, I like wholeheartedly agree with Volcarona getting access to this ability, just because it's literally like a Sun Pokemon, so it makes perfect sense. So that's why I've given it Desolate Lands. If you guys want to give it Drought, then you can, but I decided to go with Desolate Land just because I felt like it's very appropriate for this type of Pokemon, and for its typing, I left it alone as Bug Fire. One of the best typings in the game, and one of my favorite typings, so there's really no reason to actually change it, because it's like this typing, and also Volcarona is very OP, so there's no point in me changing it. So with all that, there is Volcarona. So anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now next week's Pokemon, I remember someone asking me to do this, or not next week's, later down the line this week, I remember someone asking me to do this Pokemon, and like I said in previous videos, it's not that I don't want to do it, it's just I have a list of Pokemon that I'm going to be doing first, and so like once that list is done, then I'll start a new list and it'll be on the top, and so on and so forth. And this pretty much is technically the start of the new list, and like I said, I remember someone asking me to do this Pokemon, and so later down the line this week we are going to be talking about Mega Heatmor. So with all that said, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.